You sit here and you can tell everybody about your business, how you got it, what you do, so forth and so on. That's free. Then on top of that, you can come here for a consultation. That's free. You can come here and check out studios. That's free. We got a lot of stuff and resources that's free.
Good evening, everybody. Dan and Tony. How are you, Tony?
Hey, I am doing awesome. How about you, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
Right on.
So we got the new studio up and running. Thank God we only moved from the 9th floor to the 8th floor. But it's been it was hectic. It was quite the journey getting all this set up.
Well, I lucked out, or actually I feel bad because I wasn't even here to help you, man. I was here in spirit, but I was not here physically to help you make that move, and I wish I was.
Well, with that said, actually, the guy that's over there engineering the buttons tonight, Francis Real. How are you doing, Francis?
Doing good.
That's our robot. That's our AI.
This mic sounds weird. Oh, it's just loud.
So Francis, actually, he's been a big part of getting all this set up. Francis is... At the drop of a hat, Francis appears. It's like, hey, Francis, can you help? We're kind of struggling over here. And boom, yep. Francis is here. He dropped off free stuff to hang up on the wall. He brought a Xbox 360 with Guitar Hero for kids to play in the waiting room. So, Francis, thank you very much.
Thanks, brother.
So this is kind of our grand opening, redo, kind of letting people know what we got going on, some of the new things. And before I get too far,
let's do this.
This episode is actually being sponsored by the Cigar Pairing Parlor, LLC. They're out in Yakima over at 418 South 48th Avenue. And they actually got a really cool center they're opening up where it's going to be golf.
Indoor golf?
Yeah.
And just for the locals, I know you're not too local, that's just up on 48th and Titan. That's right next to the old Flago and the old Jackson Sports Bar right there. They're right in the corner. But like you're saying, they have the current facility that they have and getting ready to make a little move here too as well.
And they'll probably be in the studio in the next couple of weeks. We might even start doing a separate podcast with them. But now I am not. I've smoked a cigar or two in my day. By no means am I a cigar professional. And they were very cool to hook us up today, sponsoring this. They gave us a couple different cigars, and we're both going to be trying the first one here, which is the Java by Drew Estates. It's a kind of a coffee-infused cigar that's supposed to be a little bit flavorful for those that, maybe don't like the taste of a full cigar. So this
2 years old, they said, or something like that.
Yeah.
And look, I'm interested.
And we're going to drink this a little bit with some Woodford Reserve, a little bourbon whiskey. So cheers, Tony.
Cheers, brother. For good work, hard work.
Francis, would you like a glass?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
Don't want to mess up the buttons.
Don't want to be rude.
Yeah, that's good. I bet, what's Joe Rogan's guy's name?
Young Jeremy.
Young Jeremy. I bet he doesn't drink on the job either. Good job.
There you go. And that's reliable. That's how it is right here.
So I'm going to go ahead and spark this bad boy up.
Let's do it.
And
now if you hear me coughing my lungs out, I know. Don't inhale, but,
Don't.
I never inhaled. See?
For those of you that know what we're doing wrong, please feel free to criticize, troll.
Leave those comments, man. Leave those comments.
Troll the everlasting crap out of us. So,
anyway,
podcasting. So you guys know we're here, and Wise Media Studios has really been kind of like trying to drive a foothold into the entrepreneur community, the business community, the small business community, bringing awareness to other small businesses and consumers around here, trying to get people to do their best to shop local, right?
Right.
That's kind of been our goal, and I think it's been pretty successful. We're doing really well with Business Spotlight Thursdays, and for those of you that don't know, Business Spotlight Thursdays every Thursday from 10 to noon. It doesn't mean you have to be here from 10 to noon. I think we should probably cliff note that and asterisk that, because some people think they're going to be here for that entire time.
But the thing is, they might be as well.
They're welcome to be.
Yes.
But if you have a busy schedule on Thursdays, really you only need to be here for 10 to 15 minutes. That's like
Right.
how long we need you here. Once you're on the air, the actual interview with the local businesses, because usually we're going to have anywhere from 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 at the most businesses that come in here Thursday morning, and everybody takes turns, 10 to 15 minutes per business, sit down, we have a conversation just like this, talk about who you are, what you do, basically how people can find you, kind of
Exactly.
showcasing you out to the world.
Yep.
But what people don't know is with the new studio, with the space we have now, which is what we want to talk about a little bit, we have the Wise Media networking space, which it's still not completely defined as to what that's going to be utilized for.
It's still in the infancy stage. Right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
It's still in the, business owners and entrepreneurs, you can probably sideline with this. How many times do you come up with an idea and it sounds great in your head, and then you go tell everybody about the idea, and then you put the idea into action, and you're like, oh man, I didn't think about that mistake. I didn't think about that problem.
That's entrepreneurship all in a rebuttal right there, buddy.
And I don't know if those problems ever completely go away, but right now we want to make sure that we don't put something out in the community that we can't deliver on. That's number one.
That's a big thing.
And I think we need to put lots of red tape caution on these conversations we're having, because, as awesome as this office is, the carpet, it's horrible. The carpet. So when you come in here and you're like, oh man, look at this carpet. They couldn't spring for some new carpet. No, we couldn't spring for some new carpet.
No.
This is
not yet.
This is how businesses start and grow.
Yeah.
We're spending the money where it needs to be spent right now. People like Francis on things like this equipment that we're talking into, the table, the lights, the cameras, all that stuff. Carpets, not so much.
The things
yet.
that pay the bills or help pay the bills is what we're paying for, but we have not
hopefully
seen any of that yet.
Hopefully those things pay the bills soon.
Yeah.
But with the networking space, originally I was thinking about doing like kind of like shared office space or shared conference space where you can come, pay a monthly membership fee, come hang out, do whatever you want to do. But I don't know. I think there's better things out there in the community where you could probably, if that's what you're looking for, you could probably, you're better off spending your time and energy there. Here, we have another podcast studio or another podcast setup in the main room. We call it Room 1.
Room 1.
And for those of you that are maybe new to podcasting, or you just need a quiet space to go podcast, we have a beautiful table set up. It's got some microphones. It's hooked up to a Roadcaster Pro, which is a professional soundboard. Headphones, microphone. There's a TV connected to it. That's a Wi-Fi TV, so you can connect to the TV.
Put your logo, put your business, put your social media or whatever you want to show the public.
One of the really cool things that we're going to be able to start doing with this space is because it's a decent, big, open space, and we've got, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 big, giant windows that oversee downtown from the 8th floor in the Larson building, so it's beautiful scenery. We're going to start renting out the space for groups that want to get together. Maybe you've got a Facebook group or you're part of a business networking group and you guys are looking for a spot to go to weekly, monthly, annually, whatever it is. That's one of the things that we're starting. And next Saturday, the Paranormal Facebook group, and just to make sure I'm saying it right, Yakima Paranormal with Shelly, who runs it over there, they're going to be coming in here next Saturday, and this is where they're going to start hosting their meetings, discussing what their plans are, places they're going to go investigate. They're doing some really cool things. They're going to be doing tours every month over at Sports Center on the upstairs in the brothel, and hopefully we'll be in there.
I can't wait to see that, because that's supposed to be some spooky stuff. Anybody who's around here, around the Yakima area, if you're anybody anyway, it's known to be haunted. I mean, it's been a staple of Yakima for so many years. It has so much deep history in it, all the way from its conception and, from back in the day when it used to be a brothel, a gambling house, and, so it has some deep history there.
So tell me, Tony, a little bit about, because you've been in Yakima your entire life for the most part. What do you think bringing like a podcast studio to this area and the way that we've done it? Like, how does this potentially impact, I'm going to call it a small town. Hopefully I don't offend anybody.
No, it's a small town.
So how do you think this impacts, people are still really kind of catching on to this. It's still a very new idea, I think.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I lived here all my life and lost been marketing and doing a lot of other things throughout my life. And Yakima has always been one of those people who are a little bit more behind, let's say, than the West Coast, Seattle metros. And the uniqueness that we're bringing to the Yakima Valley, not only the podcasting, people's heard the word podcasting thrown out there, right? A lot of people know what that is. Majority of people by now probably know what podcasting is, whether they heard it or listened to it or seen it. But the big thing is not the way we do it. You have to actually come in here. I'm going to explain a little bit, but you actually have to come in here and see it for yourself to see how things roll out, play out. We take the time with all our business owners, or not even business owners, but individuals who want to do something in this realm of podcasting. We'll take the time to show you everything, teach you things. You don't even have to know anything. You can sit down like we are right now, and we'll run everything for you as long as you have the story and you have the courage to come and sit in front of a microphone. You do it. We have our marketing platform. We distribute our audio, our video. We create content off of those videos that help with more branding and getting your word out there. I'm going to go use the big word SEO, but just if you're local, this technology, nobody here in Yakima Valley is doing this. You can go to radio, you have TV. Nobody's doing what we are doing, and especially at the volume and the package and the impact that we have.
And I think it's probably, again, when somebody hears the word, podcast or video podcast, 'cause we're more of a video podcast.
Yep.
We do audio only, but we specialize in video. And you got businesses that come in, like some of our sponsors, right? You've got a business that comes in for Business Spotlight Thursday, and it's not just to have businesses come in here and get on here and talk, so
Right.
The idea is, how is this going to help somebody's business? And in my opinion, if you're on here talking to your local community, and just one of the fringe benefits, not to get off the subject too much, but one of the fringe benefits of coming in here during Thursdays, free, and it's free, Business
100%.
Spotlight Thursday is completely free, is you're going to be every single time. So 2 weeks ago, we had Sports Center. We had, what's her name? Erin from Sports Center, and Yakima Floral. What was her name? Larissa from Yakima Floral. And Larissa's a new business.
Yeah.
She's trying to grow her business. She's not exactly sure where to spend her dollars. Some things work, some things don't. But she's trying to find ways to get customers. And while she was here, just our little networking group of people that were here that day.
Physically, right?
Physically.
Yeah.
Erin and one of the other individuals that came on, they ended up spending some time together, sitting over in the back on the couch, and they ended up getting flowers and everything from Larissa, getting ready for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
so
fabulous.
The concept of networking, communities, method, people up and people, it's not just a podcast. You're not just doing content. You take your content, for example, blogs, right? Mm-hmm. Tell them about blogs, Tony.
So blogging, you're going to take your content and everything you have, and you're going to put it on the internet on a single page. Your blogging is going to help you. We're going to take the videos. We're going to take the audios. We're going to take it's no big secret. We take the audio and we make great content for the blogs.
Transcribing
the audio
into text.
And then little, marketing SEO magic and stuff as well that goes with it. A little sauce in the back. We're not going to go into that. But I mean, the main thing is that we'll do blogging for you and make blogs based off the content that we create here. So our content is just not a one-stage content. What I mean is it's not just a podcast and you're done. What it is you're gonna use that as multi-channel. You're gonna branch it out. You're gonna take one piece of content and you're gonna make it explode until like 20 pieces of content.
And I think that's where people that are very new to this, they don't understand. They're like, so I'm gonna come in your studio. I'm going to record me talking about whatever. How are people going to find it? Who's going to come listen to that? Well, they might stumble across your podcast, but if you've got a website, and let's be real about websites don't serve the same purpose they did 20 years ago.
Correct.
They're still a tool. But if you're not using that tool accurately, it's just
it's a digital business card.
If you were only going to have one thing online, honestly, you'd be better off with like Facebook than you would.
Unless you're e-commerce. If you're e-commerce and you're out there selling stuff like Amazon and all that, that's a different story. But if you're a local business like what we're actually speaking to here, if you're a plumber people aren't all going to be all, oh, I got the best website. No, that that isn't what the people go online. They look for a service provider. They're going to type in plumber. Well, your main thing is showing up with the correct info, and they get a hold of you. With our stuff, we help with back to the blogging and all the other extra content.
See,
you're going to find it.
And just hearing, because plumber in general sounds like an extremely boring job, right?
Yep.
To the layman person, it sounds boring, unless maybe you're in the plumbing field. But when I hear plumbing, things come to my mind if you wanted to really identify how podcasting could help a plumber's business with blogging. It could be something as simple on, let's say, Tony the plumber over here. And I say, hey, Tony, how did you get into plumbing, Tony? And Tony says, when I was 8 years old, my favorite video game was Mario Brothers. And Mario Brothers, the Mario and Luigi, they're plumbers.
Yeah.
So now you tell this whole story in a podcast.
Right.
We take that content, we put it into a blog.
Right.
Now someone's Googling, looking for a plumber, their pipes burst.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck who comes to fix their pipes. They want somebody to come fix their pipes. But the first thing they come across this blog, and they read this story about this guy. His dream was to become a plumber because he always wanted to be Mario jumping through tunnel. You get a backstory about somebody.
Because one way I can see it, every weekend on 1280 KIT radio, there's these people, I don't remember what the name of their program is, but there's two guys who are general contractors that sit and answer questions to people who call in. How do I fix my sink? It's doing XYZ. What about the squeaky floor? What is this? And these gentlemen who are doing what we're doing, syndicating a podcast, it's on mainstream radio, but it's the same thing. They're at their house in their home office doing this, and they're answering call-ins, and people ask them a question or a text or something like along that line, and they're asking questions. Now, see, when people are doing that, you're helpful. They're going to know you. They're going to remember you, and that's what we help you do and put you out on the internet doing that exact same thing, because a lot of times people don't look up, I need a plumber. No, a lot of people do DIY. Or DIY.
And nowadays, a lot of people, when they look up anything they need, even including me, when I need something, I go into the various Facebook groups I'm a part of. Can anybody recommend a plumber? Does anybody know a good mechanic? Does anybody know, where I can go buy some awesome cigars at a good price?
Yeah.
All these things. And you get all these recommendations. Oh, use this guy, use this guy, use this guy. When you start getting recommendations, and when you're active on social media and you're putting yourself out there, and our goal is to help you tap into your untapped potential. Is to help you use and utilize technology for what it can benefit you from. That whole thing when they say when you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life. That's not true.
No.
Because I lose a lot of sleep. I am up nights every Thursday. We got Thursday's business spotlight. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm stressing. I'm stressing Tony out. Francis, can you make it in this time? Are you coming in? If Francis is busy,
Tony, can you find me some business people that want to come in on Thursday?
Yeah. And we don't just want anybody coming in.
No.
Like if we have a realtor last week, we don't want a realtor this week.
No.
Nothing against the other realtors.
No, it's just you can only beat dog so many times.
This is a format for people that, like, I really feel my calling to doing what I'm doing is the land of misfits. I want to find businesses that are doing things different, that are trying to create their own way, being artistic, being entrepreneurs. Every business doesn't have an easy pathway to figuring it out.
Well, that's, it's just like what we're doing here. We're still, what we're trying to provide as a service and a product, within our business. We're trying to, it's not going to fit for everybody. So a lot of people who are watching this and business owners are going to just not pull that trigger. And that's what we're talking about earlier. It's those people who want something different.
Go look up early days of Dollar Shave Club. Look up early days of Dollar Shave Club. It's a razor company that sells shaving razors. Sounds about as boring as it can get.
Yeah.
But if you look at how they broke into the industry when their competition was like Bic.
I think part of why their ads were so good is because they were authentic and they really catch your attention. They were short, but they were just really good.
And they were funny.
Yeah.
They were funny.
And that's another thing. I mean, you got to have creativity on your side. It has to, whatever you do has to be impactful, because once again, you only have a certain amount of time to catch somebody's attention.
Yep.
And they did it really well.
Yes.
So
really well.
yeah,
I would love to get feedback. Like where would you like to see because really the community of Yakima and surrounding communities, that's really going to dictate and drive the direction that Wise Media Studios goes in. Because we're not going to continue to go in a direction nobody gets behind.
No. You know, you cut me off a second ago a little about. You said sorry, cut you off. But this is what I want to say: is that everything that you're talking about does relate to what we're doing. Anybody who wants to do business with some people, once again, we're not going to get everybody's business. We don't want we want everybody's business, but we want to work with those who see what we're talking about. Like Dan was just saying, you know, he says this is a little bit off tone. No, it's not. If you think about it, that's who we are. That's who Dan and I are. This is who the business is. We care about our feelings. We care about yours. We care about our clients. We care about Yakima. We care about our community. We care about when we have that client, you're our client. We want to make you successful. That's our job, because if we don't do it, then you're not going to do business with us, right? Everything that we're saying, even with emotions, with how you should be, you know, growth and desire and all that stuff, that's what we want to do. That's the people that we want to work with. If that's not you, still love you, but the people that we want and sitting in these chairs right there, those are the people that we're talking about.
I think you don't want. I guess when I think about like who we tell businesses all the time, if you're going to learn how to ask for business, you got to learn how to what you do and who your ideal customer is, right?
Yep.
My ideal customer has to realize that we're not going to necessarily share all the same perspective.
Dan and I are like, I coined this phrase. I'm sure other people might have said it, but we have marketing ADD. So when somebody says squirrel, we see like a whole pack. You know, it's like which squirrel do you chase? You know, because it's not just squirrel.
We
see a bunch of squirrels.
We definitely throw out more ideas than what we actually end up riding out with.
As you can see, or hopefully you can see or heard from us, you know, we went from a small room office into this office, and when there's growth is good, and growth is done by not just one person making a decision. It's so many moving pieces.
It sacrifices like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
People don't know the sacrifices. Like my studio is 100 million times nicer than my house,
and bigger,
for real. Like,
yeah.
And that's the only way this is going to work. We have to, the priorities have to go into place. I would love to live in like a pimped out place in Washington,
right?
But the money that I allocate, you know, because this is not a profitable business yet.
No,
this is really, for all intents and purposes, this is a glorified hobby.
Right.
You know, we all have hobbies. You were talking about it earlier. You're like, find a hobby. You're like, well, you already got one.
Yeah.
And my hobbies end up being expensive hobbies. But I absolutely love the creative side of what we get to do. You know, and this channel is gone from thing to thing to thing before it kind of grew its legs.
Yeah.
Now, I know without a doubt, like I feel it in my bones that this is what I'm meant to do. Now, this might manifest from what we're doing today to next
something
month,
else,
but it's going to be surrounding around content. It's going to surround around making people better at what they're doing. And part of the networking that you and I are trying to do here, the weekly networking, monthly networking, we haven't fine-tuned that. We're still putting that in the back burner.
Right.
But this office space, we want to bring business owners and entrepreneurs here every week, kind of like a B&I type of
it's an incubator.
To give people a point of reference.
Yeah.
Right. But not B&I. Because nothing against B&I.
No.
But
it's just we're different.
Every networking group that I've gone to in the past, when I was younger, I would go to B&I and I really got nothing out of it. But my mind wasn't understanding what it was. I would go there and go through the motions. I'd go there and say, hi, my name's Dan. I sell insurance. My ideal customer is somebody's house that got hit by a hurricane. If your roof has been ripped off, call Dan. Now, when I go to these things, and bettering myself has not been a job that happened by itself. Bettering myself is meant looking at my flaws and going, what can I do better?
Right.
Public speaking, learning about what it takes to really run a business. And it's not just good ideas and money. It really is like boots on the ground, late nights, sacrificing when nobody else is, when everyone else is out at the club or drinking or going out with their friends or going.
That's what makes you more successful, man.
I'm at home.
At the end, it does. It is the person who's willing to put in more sweat than the other. Just like a freaking race, man. That's all it is. If you always seen the turtle in the hare, right? It's hard work, stressful work at times, but it's at the same time, it is that adrenaline pump. It is fun. We get to meet great people in the valley, learn about their businesses. A lot of stuff, people we interview, we had no clue what was going on in these businesses. And you do what? You're here, and there's background stories. I mean, you guys need to go back and listen to our Thursday meetings. A lot of these are just incredible stories too. And you know, that's at the end of the day, yes, we're going to get paid. And the reason why is because we believe in what we do, and we have a good service, we have a brew product, we have a good heart, and the people that we work with are going to be the same too. They're going to see the difference in what we can do.
And we live in a day and an age where online social media presence, good reviews, bad reviews, you've got to be a complete numbskull to go out there in the world, especially in an industry like this, and intentionally try to take advantage of people.
Yeah,
you're gonna get put on your ass.
Yeah,
bad reviews will kill you.
Anybody who's watching this video and they're with a crows fly away, Yakima, Tri-Cities, Ellensburg, stuff like that, come and check us out. You can come here on Thursday. You do your little promotion. We help you with it. You set it up. Dan asks you questions. You sit here and you can tell everybody about your business, how you got it, what you do, so forth and so on. That's free. Then on top of that, you can come here for a consultation. That's free. You can come here and check out studios. That's free. We got a lot of stuff and resources that's free.
All right. Anything else we want to discuss or mention?
In closing, if you're a local company in any aspects or organization or anything along that line, to bypass us as an opportunity to see what we possibly might be able to do for your company, I think would be a big mistake. At least schedule a time, come and talk to us, see what it is, look at what we have. We'll take you on a free tour anytime you want, and let's sit down, have a conversation. If you can't if we can't make a commitment together or do something together, that's fine. But don't weed us out and just say no right now. I'm just begging you and pleading you. You know why? Because you're going to be that person later where we can't do business with you because we're doing it with a competitor of yours, because we're not going to do that either. So,
unless the price is right.
Unless the price is right. Shush. But no, seriousness. After all this video, you heard where our hearts are, where our souls are, where we're wanting to do, what we're going to do.
And this is like on any professional video you've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is what the video really was before it was edited.
Yeah.
Like, this is really what takes place. These are the conversations that you don't get to hear all the time.
No.
You and I have been here all day today.
All day.
All day.
All day.
On a Saturday.
9
o'clock. We'll probably be here. Well, you got family coming to town tomorrow. But,
tomorrow for the game.
But
yeah,
the point is we are here trying to brainstorm on what we think Yakima needs and wants.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that we're really missing is some additional input from you guys out there.
Yeah.
Once we get this algorithm tightened up and we're able to really grind these gears the right way.
Yeah. We're going to fast line everything.
We are.
Yeah.
We are, man. This is going to be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And make sure to check us up on iTunes too, man. All of our podcasts are being broadcasted there. So
yeah, you put it on the website, right?
I put it on our website. So if you go to our website, Wise Media Group LLC.com.
Link is in the description. Yakima, I want to thank you guys. I know this is a little bit unorthodox and it seems sometimes silly and fun, but I really do appreciate everybody that's in this room. Francis, Real, Tony, Kate, and Brooke. I've said it before. You guys have really lit this fire that is making me just want to do so much more for my own self. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. And Tony, cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Success.
Success.
Francis, we'll see you later.
Take us out.
Bye, Francis.